Strategist, to the honorable business personnel out there at home, to the general members of the Republic of South Africa, to the global business gurus of Germiston. Welcome to the Mineral Trader Group KZN Virtual Launch. My name is Duma, a musician, a theatre practitioner. I am a state mineral trader, agent, and strategic brand manager. The purpose of this virtual launch is education. It's an education about mineral and Germiston business benefits. Without any further ado, I would like to introduce to you Mr. Thato Maieane, the Chief Executive and South Africa Diamond Dealer and Evaluator, State Mineral Trader Group. Mr. Maieane will give you a brief lecture on mineral values. So, with your respect, I'm passing my baton to Mr. Maieane. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Duma. Greetings to journalists. Greetings to merchants out there who are watching us. Greetings to everyone who want to learn and be educated, moreover be empowered about God's given treasure to Africans. I'm going to start with, thanks for the intro. Basically, I'm not going to go much about me. I'm not going to even say anything about me. My profile is out there. You can check. Anyone will be able to check it. I'm just going to address I'm going to talk about like I said, it's part of education of diamonds and gold, minerals in generally. That's what you call mineral beneficiation. I'm going to talk about that, and I'm going to talk about how State Mineral Trader Group has started. But first, let's talk about the mineral beneficiation. Mineral beneficiation is something that has long been gazetted, I think in 2005. And what's the meaning of mineral beneficiation? In general terms, when you talk about mineral beneficiation, you're talking about increasing the value of whatever the product that you are mining in general. Let's talk about diamonds. When you come to diamonds, when you talk about diamond beneficiation in diamonds, we're talking about cutting and polishing of diamonds. We're just not ending there about cutting and polishing of diamond, where we say, let's stop exporting our diamonds to India or to foreign countries. Let them be cut and polished here. For me, it's been limited to that. But mineral beneficiation, diamond beneficiation, it goes beyond the cutting and polishing in South Africa. We have a new the Diamond Act of 1995, where it says no diamond shall be exported or shall be sold out of South Africa without a South African citizen benefited out of that. It's well gazetted. There's no need to be told on media and whatsoever. But those are realities of which we don't know. We're talking about, when we talk about the diamond beneficiation, we're talking about no diamond shall be sold without a South African buyer, or exported without a South African buyer being having a first right of refusal to buy that diamond. So those are the benefits that are there, and they're in a very large, they make a huge impact into South African people to benefit out of that. It's just not a gazetted somebody, or it's just not the information that someone has to do with that. So that's when we're talking about the mineral beneficiation, the diamond beneficiation. There are a lot of programs of beneficiation that as an ordinary person can benefit out of diamonds. You can benefit out of diamonds, you can benefit in diamonds on the profit sharing, you can benefit in diamonds on shareholding, you can benefit in diamonds in owning and possessing. Remember, anyone can buy diamonds, anyone can access diamonds, anyone can have diamonds like as if you buy your car, as if you buy your cell phone. You can possess that. And let me tell you one thing. Diamond is the only asset that doesn't depreciate. It doesn't fluctuate. It's there. You can search there. The history of diamond, since diamond, the craft of diamond, it has been ascending, it has been accelerating, going up. Someone's asking, but no, man, yesterday I heard another big company say they're making a loss diamond. You're telling me of a company. I'm talking of the market that I'm in. You know, I'm talking about the market that's in. There are companies that will say, hey, there's no diamond in South Africa, blah, blah. They moved to London Stock Exchange. But the operation, they're still in South Africa. And it has never been the headlines. It has never been the headlines, that thing. But their operation, they're still operating and mining. But when they go to LSE, they moved. Because they were saying this and that and that. But I'm talking 2020, and that thing was 2008. They're still operating and mining. We're just going to try to destigmatize the product diamond. Diamond is a God-given treasure to Africans. It's a natural stone. I'm not talking the bling-bling. I'm talking diamond as an asset, as a natural stone. Don't come and tell me, or when you pass there by West Street and tell me the other shop. No, they are promoting, they are marketing the bling-bling. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the natural stone that when any company mines there, there's no one supervising them. How many stones do you have? Our currency as African is far bigger than any other currency in the world. That one I believe. Because we are the best commodity producers in the world. It doesn't need a rocket scientist to define that economically. But let's not go there. Let's talk the basic language of diamond and gold. So what we try to do is to say, look, there are programs there are diamond beneficiation programs at Mineral Trader. And those programs, they are designed to benefit somebody. An ordinary South African citizen can benefit out of them. There are a lot of programs. We go into training, we go into trading, not just understanding the product of that diamond business on its own. Anyway, we have a lot of people. We have a lot of people who knows. When you go there, down there in the bush, Northwest and Northern Cape, where Mineral Trader has operations, those people know diamond naturally. But when it goes to the market, you won't find this hand where money is made. Someone was asking, how does Mineral Trader make this profit? This interest or this profit that you're making? It's a diamond. Have you ever seen a diamond price on your television, on your radio? No one is saying that about that. It's on top of the value chain. It's on top of the commodities when you talk of diamond. It's natural. It's from God. Each diamond is unique from any other diamond. Each diamond is it's not like anything commodity that you say this is oil, you have this barrels and whatever, it's the same quality. No. Each stone is unique to another. It's another. And besides, the demand of diamond is far higher than the supply. The supply. So somebody, when they were asking me about how do you make all these profits and that, it's an art. Most what you see on newspapers, most what you see on media, you find something that is already being. It's another stone. Diamond is just the natural stone. If you know a stone, just the stone, you will pass by, you will bypass it if you don't know it. For it to be on that shape to shine like that, it's been crafted by hand. So diamond is just not a stone as an asset, it's an art. It is so priceless. I saw something like last month on the media in another country next to us here. They found a big diamonds. They sold it to another company that we all know at $2 million. The following day, that stone was auctioned in London, in Antwerp, at $18 million. We're talking companies. We're no longer talking about ordinary people whom I can go in the bush, whom they are not taught the value of them. They are not taught the diamond business. You get a point. They are left there. Remember that our mind is so I'm not going to say it's colonized. We just don't want to learn. Any one of you, if I can meet you on the street and talk about diamonds right there, hey, we're going to challenge. Once you are being grabbed there, you're going nowhere. It's a confusion, it's fear. You're going nowhere, you're not going to think of. And if you can just imagine, I tell many people, that thing is just a natural stone from the ground. We're not going to, if you can find, no one will say anything. If you find something that is nice on the street, we will arrest you. Let's not go deeper onto that. But I'm just giving you the basics of diamond. It's not a drug. We are licensed. We are compliant in buying and selling diamond. We are compliant on mining and on mining diamonds. How we make money? We make money on diamonds and gold. That's what mineral trader is all about. And all what we come to this level now, where we say we mineral trader. You look at mineral trader history. You will see back when a diamond. You will see where Thato was in a taxi, having diamonds in the pocket. That's the reality. That's my story. It's there. It's public. It's there out there. Check Thato Maieane. So, but those are the realities that are there. And when even I was financed by FNB and Momentum Forum, remember, I just didn't rush to say I need a fleet of cars and whatever. I continued to use a taxi. It's in my pocket. Who will know that people who knows me, as much as I've been on me, people who knows me are people in business. Because I know people cannot identify you. Once you talk about diamond, already people run away from you. They see a Hollywood narrative movie that is there, what has been planted in our mind. And it's unfortunate. That's what we are trying to change. We don't market diamond. We don't promote diamond. We can only educate. Because at a boardroom level, we don't have all of you here. You are not there. And that's where the primary stand of our economy is on commodities. And we definitely not there. All what we're trying to do is to preach the diamond business and the diamond product. As it's accessible to anybody, anybody can make a massive money, but it's not about money for money. We more try to educate and build this empire. Because the industry on its own, it's not mineral trade on its own. It's not a tax shop. It's not a tax shop company. It's not a one-man show. We'll come to that when we talk about value chain right now. It's big. So you need all this mind to come together if you are building something that makes sense. Mining on its own is part of value chain. It's not the whole, it's part of value chain. It's massive. You need brains to be on the table to address all the economics, to address all the business dynamics of the industry. So then I told you about when mineral trader started. It started with back when diamonds, where I was buying and selling diamonds. Anyone can have a diamond license. Obviously, it's only when the authorities have to check on whatever that they have to check. It's a normal application, you should have gone through it. But nevertheless, it started on buying and selling of diamond. That's how we started. And from there, like I said, we have what we call a value chain. Let me talk about the value chain of diamond. We're talking about mining. As mineral trader, we have mining operations in Northwest and Northern Cape, mineral rights. That's where you mine. That's where you, in simple language, is mining, digging. You are going to learn those operations. As much as we have relations with other countries, not only South Africa, but in South Africa, our source of diamond is mining. It's one step of a value chain when it comes to diamonds. You mine diamonds. After you mine diamonds, that's what we call licensed diamond dealers. That's where I started as an individual, where I was buying diamonds and selling diamonds. The dealers are licensed. I can buy diamonds anywhere in the world. I can sell it anywhere in the world. My license allows me to go anywhere. I can go to DRC, Mujumai, right there in the bush, buy diamonds, and go to Antwerp and sell it there. That's the second part of value chain. The third part, that is diamond cutting. You cut and polish diamond. That's where you bring value of it, because once it's cut and polished, once the diamond is cut and polished, I can sell it over the counter like I'm selling bread, because it has all papers that justifies that this car, the engine number of this car is this and this and this and this, manufactured from this plant and this plant. You get all these papers, I'll give you those papers, and I have the money. That's at the diamond and cut and polish. Then we have what we call the retail of the jewelry manufacturing. That's where you have the combination of diamonds and gold coming together. And I'm not talking plated gold, because this what the bling bling again that you see on the street. Let me just make you aware. When you tell me that you have 9 karat of gold, you're telling me that you are having 30% of gold content in whatever that you're having. When you're having 18 karat, you are telling me that you are having 50% of the content of gold to whatever that you're wearing. The rest is rubbish, what we call alloys. When you're wearing 22 to 24 karat of gold, you're telling me you have 99.99% of gold. Those are the realities that we know. But us, we need to educate people that when you buy that bling bling, buy the investment. Don't buy on the bling bling. There are other countries where you don't really sell fake, the plated, what you call plated gold or whatever. In simple language, it's a fake of that. It's just a steel that has been painted with that alloys. So on other countries, that is totally illegal, because they are protecting their commodities. So what we try to teach people is that, look, listen, when you buy this thing, you should buy that thing as an asset, as something that goes, as much as a bling bling that you go on a gala dinner or whatsoever. But at the end of the day, it's something, it's an asset that can hold you, even if when you are not working, it can even increase in value and make money for you. And I think I've covered this far this much.
That's his mouthful. Thank you so much, Mr. Maieane. Just one question for you. I heard that you are licensed by the South African Department of Mineral and Energy.
Yes.
So actually that gives me confidence that I can freely or like legally trade with you and be a merchant of diamond. So now I am a person sitting at home and I want to engage myself in this business. What is my first step? Or rather, you cater for only filthy rich people or people from out of this country who could say, no, I'm from Korea, Japan. I know that I know the value of the diamond. Then the whole of Korea, Japan that doesn't have a diamond. So now you're gonna deal with only those.
No, that's totally not correct. But anyway, for now we're dealing with that, but we're not dealing with those. That's why we're having this now, because we're engaging our ordinary people to come. I think what I was addressing now, it was just the background of the product, diamond, and the accessibility of it. We're dealing with all the ordinary people. And I remember there was last interview I was made, I don't remember with what media, where I was saying you can have a diamond of 10,000 rand, even of 5,000 rand. Someone was like, no, are you sure? Are you serious about that? Yes, you can have that. It depends on the quality and the content. It depends on the quality of the stock that you want to buy and the affordability to that. But what I've highlighted, Mr. Duma, earlier, I said the whole mineral trader, it's all about the programs that are there, diamond beneficiation program, where it says, as mineral trader, we cannot sell diamonds without somebody having benefited. Remember, we are audited out of there. Before we export, we are audited. Even once we are sold, we are audited to say who has benefited out of this diamond. Each and every diamond has its own unique ID. So when someone is with mineral trade and is a merchant, it states clearly that we know that somebody has benefited out of this diamond. He has made $200 out of this diamond. We know that somebody has made $400 out of diamond. That kind of thing is audited. So it's for ordinary South African citizen people to benefit out of that.
Okay. So for me to open that gate, like, or is there any contribution that I must make as an investment so that I can actually gain some sort of interest? How do I benefit?
Okay. Okay, let me just entertain my MD was going to cover that, but let me just go through that. That was there's what we call a diamond beneficiation portfolio. It's a portfolio. It's an agreement that is clear on top of the table. You don't. What it says, it simply says you have to have a minimum of even if there's only needed people allowed to that. It's a minimum of 20,000, and it gives you the 15% interest out of that. And somebody was asking me, but that's a lot of interest. Okay, I can go right now. I can take to, let me just be frank with you. I can take that money and go in the bush and come back and sell that stone 100% and 150% profit. That's how the industry works. It's because that's why I told you earlier that you won't see that price of anywhere, because the one who possesses it is his price. And how many people are in need of that stone? There are more than when you sell diamonds, you have buyers sitting there. You always sell diamonds as if it's an auction. So the highest bidder takes that. You get a point. So basically that's that.
Thank you so much. Yeah, I understand this even better. There's still a lot coming. Now, please allow me to introduce you Chief Strategist at State Mineral Trader Group. She has an experience in property investment and stock market. She is a qualified jewelry agent. Please assist me to introduce to you Miss Triphena Dlamini.
Thank you very much, Mr. Atlas. Well, firstly, before I start, I'd like to just say thank you to everybody that's taken time out to sit with us and to view us and to get more information in this beautiful industry of ours. We are also very happy to be here so that we can actually expose you to everything that Mineral Trader Group has to offer. So I see Mr. Atlas and Mr. Thato already almost covered half of my speech, but I will still do it in any case. You were very, very quick with that one. But that's not a problem at all. So, yes, like Mr. Atlas said, my name is Triphena Dlamini. I am the Chief Strategist for Mineral Trader Group. And I'll just discuss a few things that, the opportunities that we have that are available in Mineral Trader Group. During the hundreds of interactions that I've had with different people on different levels and at different occasions, I have come across and found that each and every individual has a specific reason as to exactly why they want to be in this industry and what they are hoping to achieve by being or coming on board and joining the State Mineral Trader Group. So on many of those different occasions, we've obviously come up with different channels that can assist the individual and make sure that they actually achieve their desired results. On various occasions, I've found that there's people that are looking for investment opportunities, those types of opportunities that requires little to nothing or efforts from your side. Then there are a few others as well that are looking to grow in the diamond industry. In that channel, we've then created our VVP online franchise opportunities as well that will assist you to get into the business and make money selling diamonds and gemstones as a diamond broker, or jewelry as a jewelry agent for us, as well as selling refined stamped gold. So what we found is that obviously the lifestyle that we are living right now, a lot of people are now being forced to obviously go into looking for different online opportunities. And with the VVP opportunity, that will then provide that desired result for the people as well. So with our online opportunities, as a VVP, it's short for Virtual Venture Partnerships. These are ordinary people that have bought exclusive rights into the online franchise with Mineral Trader Group. All right. You can either decide to become a diamond broker, or you can be a jewelry agent, or you can be on both the levels. it's really up to each individual and also depending on what you want to achieve at the end of the day. So with online diamonds and jewelry of revenue, we've had to take into consideration the amount of time that people spend online. So especially on our social media. So we find that advertising diamonds online and jewelry as well has now been considered a soundproof move. So it's very advantageous to us, and it's also advantageous to the BVP themselves because that gives them opportunities to actually work without having to have overheads that they have to take care of. They can work remotely, they can have meetings in coffee shops with the clients, they can really build a solid relationship with those clients as well, and also retain repeat business from there. So yeah, that's all from us.
Wow, thank you so much.
Pleasure, pleasure.
You are so wonderful in such a way that I didn't have any question. Right, so it's mouthful. Thank you so much, Triphena. Yeah, this is what I call human empowerment, economic development, sustainable development. I regard this as an initiative as one of the outcomes from my theatre productions called Deep Depth the Musical, which unfolds truth about conservation of natural resources and sustainable living. I wrote that theatre production and presented it in Playhouse Theatre, and it actually tells the truth about how our country is so much rich. And we are actually overlooking that, although we know very well that our country is rich, but as general people, we don't benefit and see that richness actually benefiting us out there. So now we are bringing to you State Mineral Trader Group that actually provides sufficient opportunities to you out there to make sure that you utilize all the resources that we have. So now I would like Mr. Maieane to introduce our guest speaker, not yet. Let me go to, right, by the way, we've got here, Mr. Maieane is going to introduce him. This guy is heading a movement called Amandla Omnotho. Some of you are most of the time listening to different radio stations, and you could hear about Amandla Omnotho movement, and I was so fascinated about it when I hear what is it that they are doing, and they are bringing pride to South African as to how they can benefit from businesses that we have. Right, so now I would like to introduce our next speaker. Her name is yes, I'm going to introduce to you Tshepo. She is the MD at State Mineral Trader Group. Please, over to you.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen of the press. Good evening, South Africa. My name is Mabua-Phakathi. I'm here today to open up the floor to educate you about the diamond as an investment. It is very sad, and my heart is pouring today that South Africa, as rich as it is borrowing money from other countries, whereas we have natural resources that would have been used as a source of finance to make sure that each and every South African is free. Today I'm going to teach you about diamond as an investment. First and foremost, diamond is a symbol of love. It symbolizes love in marriages. It is made pure, and it is a God-given asset that you can find on the ground. We say it's an asset because you can offset generational wealth with it. It's a tangible asset. You can have a feel of it. You can use it as a currency, that as a form of exchange. You can also use it as a leverage when you want to borrow money from the bank. The diamonds that we are selling at Mineral Trader, they are legal diamonds. They've got certificates that you can use when you go to the bank and ask for a loan, or you want to buy a house on a point. The diamond is a long-term asset that is always appreciating. It's not controlled by demand and supply only, but it is controlled by the person who is holding the diamond, or then he is the price driver. It is one asset that you can use as discreetly as possible, because you can carry it with you, you can store it anywhere you want. As long as nobody knows what you're possessing, they will never know your true worth. So that is basically what we say. That's mineral trader. We want to expose you to those diamonds so that they are easily accessible to each and every person in the public. It's so easy that you can even buy it at a lower price. You can buy it at 1,000 rand, you still get the certificate for it. You can also buy it as a ring. We've got the manufacturing of jewelries, so you can buy it as a ring as well and use it as a generational legacy for your kids, passing it from generation to generation. So that's what I'm here to cover for today. So I would like to encourage each and every South African to make sure that they access this opportunity and make sure that they possess this asset so that they can offset generational wealth, and then there will be no more poverty in South Africa. Thank you.
Thank you so much. As much as we are in this brink of COVID-19, and our country is borrowing money from different countries, and if there could be a way of using our mineral resources in exchange of the money, not borrowing, you see, so you touched a very, very important point there. Yeah, so it's getting so hot. Yeah. Well, Mr. Maieane, please do me a favor, introduce our special guest. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Mr. G. Before I introduce the next speaker, who is my closest friend and my mentor anyway, I need to talk about what my MD have just said when it comes to now about borrowing money. If African countries were stockpiling our commodity, I tell you that right away, the world should be coming to us to borrow money from us. Even the World Bank. Because those guys, they've stockpiled our commodities. They didn't mind, they've stockpiled. I still say even today, okay, they've already stockpiled. We still have something that is remain. You can use your stone, your diamond, at any bank. You can use it as a security against your loan. If you're defaulted on your loan, you're going to check what's the value of that diamond at that time you're defaulted. Those are the realities, dynamics. It's an asset, it's not a drug, as many people perceive. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to introduce my brother, my friend, my mentor, my business partner. We come from far. We really come from far. And we keep coming together and we keep pushing. And that's the CEO of Amandla Omnotho. I think he's accolades I can't finish. I must confess that it will go on. I can go on and on forever. I want to give him this platform. And this is the guy, I call him Omnotho, the economist. Anyway, we were engineers and we left that. We had to go to boardroom. That's the decision I made. That's what I've been emphasizing here when I was saying there are a lot of people who come, hey man, I need to know diamonds, really I will teach you that and whatever, but I'm interested in teaching you the business, the diamond business. That's where your decision I made on everything. Ladies and gentlemen, let me introduce to you Mr. Gugulethu. Brother.
Thank you so much, Mr. Maieane, and thanks, Program Director, and to our lovely guests, and to you out there, our viewers, and to the journalists in the house. As Thato, I always call it, we come from far. I think I was counting that we've known each other for 27 years. And immediately after our varsity days, or technical days, as we call it then, we went straight up to the business that he's pursuing to this day. I think that talks to the endurance, that talks to focus. I know the journey has not been without challenges. There's been a number of challenges and serious ups and downs, but he's really stayed put. And I must commend him firstly for that, because it takes character and guts to stay put and to keep focused, especially in the entrepreneurial journey that we're in. It's never an easy thing to simply start a business and make it work overnight. And many people are really microwave type entrepreneurs who want things to be happening right now. And if it doesn't happen, they drop it, they move to the next thing. And I think, therefore, with you at the helm of Mineral Trader Group, Mr. Maieane, you have to be commended for the work that you've done, and more especially for coming out and therefore saying, let us destigmatize this space of diamond and teach ordinary people about its importance, and especially from the angle of economic development. I think you've touched on that as well in terms of the challenges that our country is facing, which have to do with, we've got so much minerals in this country and in this continent, and we shouldn't be where we are at right now, even during this COVID-19, with all these challenges, if only we were good stewards of the assets that we have in the country. I think mine is very quick and easy. I have been trained by him there in Johannesburg some over 20 years ago, close to 20 years ago, I think, on how to see this is a diamond. We used to have those times where we would have this thing where you test the diamond and all of that. So I've then gotten to know a little bit about the space of diamond, even though I'm not an expert. But I'm going to talk from the aspect of destigmatizing this space and the accessibility of diamonds as well, for purposes of empowerment. I think that's very important, giving, as I've just indicated, Mr. Maieane's background in terms of staying put on this cause and pushing through, ensuring that you don't drop the ball, but you keep learning, so that you would therefore be able to teach other people. They've already, my guests, spoken about the stigma that is attached to diamonds. There are so many stigmas, one of which is blood diamonds. Many people simply talk about blood diamonds, and I've been doing my research trying to learn about blood diamonds for some years. I understand they are accounting only for 5% of the total value of diamonds world over, these which are called blood diamonds. And obviously, you've touched on the Hollywood aspect, where people associate diamonds, when the movies are playing and there is diamonds involved and people start killing each other and all of those types of things. I think these are all the things that really become a stigma. They paint the industry in a particular way, but more so, what is more of a stigma is the inability to understand the industry in its entirety, in terms of its value chain, in terms of one who controls it. The mining diamond industry is managed by a handful of companies. I'll just count a few of those companies, which manage literally over 60% of the diamond capacity in the world. That's De Beers, Rio Tinto, and Alrosa. And for me, that's very interesting because, when you look at these great companies, I'm sure they are commendable. The work that they've done over years, it means they've got a very grand strategy of ensuring that they control a larger share of market. When you are talking entrepreneurship and economy, it's really about the control of a share of market. It's about, I see you taking some water that I'm not going to mention what it is, but Triphena, you're taking this water. There's a company that controls the share of your throat. In economics, they call the share in marketing the share of throat, which means someone has to control what goes down your throat. Someone has to control what goes through your mind. Someone has to control the share of eye, which has to do with what is it that you are watching. These days we've got a very beautiful case happening in America, where I think there is a big 5 companies or big 4 companies. your great companies like Google. I'm sure you must have been following that case where you've got these companies. I just want to check some of my notes here as I'm speaking. And these companies are really doing amawaza-waza world over, isn't it? Because they are called the emperors of online economy. You know, these are companies which are daring, and they are now controlling over 6 trillion rand worth of their economy online. And to an extent that they are now beginning to destabilize, if you watch CNN and all those other media houses, the democracies of the world. I mean, your Google, your Facebook, and all those great companies. So that's very interesting for me to say someone is now controlling how you wake up in the morning. Whereas some of the people who would wake up and pray, they wake up and watch WhatsApp and wake up and watch Facebook to check what's happening there. So, whereas some people would wake up and start engaging others, the first thing that they do is to do what these companies, the empowerers of online economy, have come up with. Great innovation. So I think this is not different when it comes to diamond and any other mineral like that, but specifically diamond today, because we are talking about how do you destigmatize this industry and allow ordinary people to know that they can have a share of economy in this particular industry. So this is very important in terms of trying to educate people and basically saying, during this time that I like to refer it as a critical juncture moment, a reset button for the economies of the world, we have to step up and step out and begin to be counted in terms of saying, what sector of economy do you want to possess and occupy and be part of it without shame? Because knowledge is out there. Here is the experts sharing the knowledge with all of us out there. Information is available freely. So it's all a matter of what is your interest? Are you really serious about taking charge of this information and understanding that the economy of diamond can be possessed by yourself? Because it is possible. So these great companies which I've just mentioned, they've done a great job in terms of their strategy. But fact of the matter is, these are assets that are right under our feet. Some of the people daily, they step on these assets and they fight over them or whatever happens. But these are assets that we should be leveraging and understand the value chain thereof in terms of from whence you are mining. Even before mining, just understanding where these diamonds are. I mean, God's world is well mapped out by God himself as the greatest architect in terms of knowing where this particular asset lies. But there is information scientifically to be able to point you at that. So from understanding where these assets are to then understanding how do we mine these assets, both at the level of alluvial, or at the level of right underground, deep with those pipes that my experts know more about, and right to understanding that the 4 C's. I thought I was going to hear about the 4 C's of diamond, what we call the cut, clarity, carat, and color, and understand that what are even industrial diamonds versus your top gem type diamonds. The information is out there. I think today's session is really trying to educate, to say, let us take the stigma out of the diamond industry and know that we can own diamonds. And it's sad to see, you go to Kimberley, that's the big hole. And all those places up to DRC, you have acidic poverty. You know what is acidic poverty? One man taught me acidic poverty is when a poor person says to you, you are poor too. That means the poverty has gone extreme. If another poor person can look at you and say, you are really poor, poorer than me. That's what's happening in Africa. In DRC, you go there, I travel, Thato, to all those countries. And then you read reports and you see what's happening and the mining that's happening there. You've got people who are suffering still, yet there is so much wealth in those particular countries. So these are things that we must really turn around as Africans. We can't shy on those issues. We can't beat about the bush and try and run around. Whereas here in Marange, in Zimbabwe, we would, in Marange area and many other parts of Zimbabwe, there's great diamonds. We know even some people have been stealing diamonds, posing as if it's rubble, just taking diamonds away. So same here in South Africa. Go to Kimberley. I would be expecting that people there, they would be very okay, at least, as I wind down. The important thing about us understanding the space of diamond is far more crucial. It goes beyond your own immediate self. It's about understanding this industry in light of our economic development, in light of how we need to change our mindset towards diamonds, in light of how we need to uplift one another and get this particular information and know that you can have very good returns on investment if you invest, but more than anything else, be part of the entire value chain. I've just listened to you talking about the legislation that I think many of us are not even aware of. We're not even leveraging the legislation. We already talk about let's create more jobs in South Africa and process and beneficiate these assets of ours. But talk is cheap. And we've got to act these things out. We should be saying over 90% of these assets must be beneficiated here. I'm not even sure rapport as to how much of these assets are beneficiated in the South African environment, how much of these minerals, like the diamonds. But right now, we are reaching levels of unprecedented proportions when it comes to unemployment. We're sitting right now, they are telling us that SA were 31%. To be honest, the broad band of unemployment is sitting right at over 60%. Because with youth alone, we're sitting at 55 to 60% unemployment. So we're faced with a serious reality of how do we create jobs. But somewhere where there should be power, I don't think there is any will or political will to say, let's change the situation. Because if there was, we could turn things around like tomorrow, but we're busy dilly-dallying about this. We are going to face one of the most serious times right ahead of us if we're not careful. Unfortunately, we cannot continue creating an island of rich people and rich companies and forget about the poor people who are so many out there who are not without a dream, but whose dreams are shattered simply by legislation that is not being implemented, simply by hogging on these assets, simply by not opening up, simply by not having a clear vision of what needs to be done. So South Africa must turn around, we must turn the corner pretty soon, before it's too late, when it comes to matters of economic development and entrepreneurship. Because I believe if we can create, this ecosystem of entrepreneurship and encourage people to be streamlined accordingly and encourage them to be supported as well, financially and on non-financial services, we will go very far as a country. How do we destigmatize? Through learning, relearning, and unlearning. Through ensuring that we teach, we don't stop teaching people. Through engaging, through bringing out what people have not been knowing, like this space of diamond. Because many people, security company, please, with all due respect, I respect those companies. But people do not want to come into the space where really the big boys play, as it were. But here is Thato is just mentioned, it's not only the big boys, you can be a big boy and a big girl and be part of this. Thank you very much, Morning Director.
Thank you so much, Nonkosi. Hey, the first time I hear about Nonkosi was on one of the radio stations. Well, unfortunately, we are not allowed to pronounce these radio stations. But he's so much impressing, and I thank him that I'm part of this today because I just joined a WhatsApp group about Omnotho. Then if I didn't join that WhatsApp group, I wouldn't be here because it's an evolution. It's a revolution actually. One can say It's a platform whereby all I can say proudly, all black businessmen who have realized that there is Amandla Omnotho, they are one step ahead from where they had been before they were so much introduced to Amandla Omnotho. So I honor them. Thank you so much. When we have come to the end of our program, thank you to the viewers, thank you to the journalists. Thanks Nonkosi, thanks Mr. Maieane, thanks Triphena. Thank you so much, Tshepo Mabua-Phakathi, to the names. Okay? Well, yes. Thank you so much. I'm very, very proud to be the host for this program. And we are looking forward to host even more program of this kind. And well, you can reach us at www.mineraltradergroup.co.za or www.mineraltrader.co.za. So get me on my email address, atlas@mineraltrader.co.za. If you want to further look at this stream, you can be able to do that. It's gonna be available at all time. We are pre-recording while we are streaming live, and this program will be available on Facebook at any time you need to watch again. So again, I would say thank you so much. If viewers are having questions, please type those questions. Type those questions, and then we are going to make sure that all your questions are being answered. Thank you so much.
Indaba zabantu umakhelwane wami njalo nje nakunengqokozi lokhona negama lakho lifica likhona uyozithanda indaba zabantu umakhelwane wami lapho kunempi khona kona njalo khuzeka kutheni na uso matsalena nabazabantu